How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at my 1-year free-to-play Genshin account review, and with version 3.0 just around the corner, I think of no better way to go ahead and send version 2.0 off with a bang and take a look at my journey throughout it as a free-to-play player. So I hope you guys find this interesting and see how my account has turned out over this time. I'm actually pretty proud of it as a free-to-play player, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I am a free-to-play player. As I said, the top-up was around anniversary time, and that is when I really started playing the game consistently. It was version 2.0, as I said. So I've never spent money on the game, as you can see. Never bought any of the things, as tempting as some of these are, especially the skins. I've never done so. So I am a true free-to-play player, and this pretty much shows that. First things first, I feel like most people are interested in the characters that I've obtained throughout my time playing Genshin, and also the banners that I have summoned on. So let's start with this first, and I also want to point out that all of these are pretty much rerun characters aside from some new ones, because as a new player starting in version 2.0, I skipped the first year of Genshin, so I had to play catch up, which means a lot of these were banners that I've summoned on, which you guys have seen throughout my YouTube channel, is that they have been reruns because I've tried to catch up. The only characters that I summoned on that were new at the time was I summoned for Raiden as my first ever summonable banner, and I also summoned for Yelan when she first came out as well. Now with some of these characters like Amber and Kaeya, you're gonna see that these actually have different times. I did start making my account for Genshin in April of 2021, but I only played them till the point of Kaeya, and even Lisa, as you can see, I didn't get to September, so that's why I technically consider my account review 1 year as of now, because I didn't start playing the game consistently every day for the most part until September of 2021, which was the release time around there where version 2.0 came out. So yeah, I definitely don't consider these two when I really started playing Genshin. But in that time of a year, I've gained so many characters. I have every single 4-star, and I do even have a lot of the 5 stars. So with that said, let's talk about the first banner I ever summoned on, like I said, was Raiden Shoguns. Now I didn't actually get Raiden on that banner. I didn't get a 5-star at all, in fact, because I didn't have enough at the time, and I didn't realize how important Raiden was, so I didn't really grind up much more for her, which I really should have done at the time, but it honestly worked out later. But I did get Kujo Sara on that banner, and the reason I'm pointing her out is because she's the only character on my account that I have C6. I got a few copies of her from what I remember on that banner, but I didn't get her C6 until a lot later on when Raiden came back around. Now the first 5-star I got, you might ask, what was that? It was Childe, and he was the next banner after Raiden, and I did get him because at that time I was really just trying to get my hands on any 5-star I could, because I really needed the help, honestly. But I did win my 50-50, and he was the first ever 5-star that I ever got, which is funny enough, the first ever 5-star I get, I win my 50-50. That's pretty cool. So that's how I ended up getting Childe. Now on the next banner, which was Hu Tao, I wish I would have saved a little bit more, but I did end up getting her, just not in the way you would expect. I went on to lose my 50-50, and I got my first ever standard banner unit, which was Jean. I got her from that banner and not the normal banner, funny enough, first. Same with Keqing. Keqing is one of 2 of the units from the standard banner, and I actually got her from the regular banner, which I will talk about later. These characters I still don't have. I don't know how I went a whole year with playing and haven't gotten a Qiqi, but somehow that's happened. And I did get another copy for Jean later on a standard banner. She's the only character I've pulled from the standard banner. The other 2 times I've gotten 5 stars on that banner, they've only been weapons, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So I lost the 50-50 with Hu Tao, got Jean, but because I was still a new player at the time and I did recognize how amazing Hu Tao was, I grinded up enough to do a full another rotation to get to Pity, and I got the guaranteed Hu Tao 5-star. Now that's the only time this has happened, and probably the only time it will, because I don't save that much anymore for banners, I gotta be honest with you. And I'm also running out of resources in the game, of course, because I played for so long. There's only new things I can get from like events and stuff like that. I really don't have like chests and things like that left over, but I was able to grind up enough to get really 2 full rotations of 160 wishes to get Hu Tao, and it was definitely worth it. Moving on into 2022, I got my very first character of the year and my favorite character on my account and just in Genshin in general, Gon Yu. Now I was so lucky with her, and this is really where my luck in Genshin turned around. 2021, I had some pretty good luck, as you can see. I mean, I was able to win the 50-50 and I was able to get guaranteed Hu Tao, but 2022, I got Gon Yu on the first multi, which was crazy, and I wasn't guaranteed. I had a 50-50 chance and I got her. And then after that, I went on to summon on Zhongli because I had all the stuff that I saved up for Ganyu. Since I pulled her on the first multi, I was like, well, I might as well summon for Zhongli since I pulled her so early. And that's exactly what happened. I made the video for that as well. You can check it out. And I was able to get Zhongli. I had to do all the way up until Pity, of course, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I knew I was guaranteed to get a 5-star because I had enough to reach the Pity, but I still could have got another character, and somehow I won my 50-50. So I walked away with Ganyu and Zhongli from the same banner times, which is just crazy. I got them within a few days of each other, and I couldn't believe it. I was so lucky. After that, I waited a little bit and I didn't summon for about another month, and that's when Raiden's rerun came back. I definitely made sure to save up for her, that's for sure, and I had enough to get up until Pity and guarantee myself a 5-star, but it still could have been something else. Funny enough, I got Raiden on the first multi, and I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. And rather than summon for Kokomi, I recognize how important Raiden's constellations are, so she's the only one I've really tried to get constellations for. And funny enough, I had enough to get all the way up to Pity, like I said, and I won my 50-50 back-to-back and got a second copy of Raiden Shogun. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't have. And that's all I did for the summon video, but I still wanted to summon off screen with whatever I could scrounge up within that last week before she disappeared. And I got a third 5-star. The only time I've ever gotten multiple 5-stars on a banner, and I got 3 of them. And the third one, unfortunately, was not the C2 Raiden that I would have loved to have, because in the future, hopefully I'll be able to get that. But I instead got Keqing, my second normal banner unit. I pulled her from the standard banner. I did lose my 50-50, but 3 times back to back would have been a little bit much, so I wasn't too disappointed, and it could have been something else. I wish it would have been Mona though, because right after Raiden's banner was Venti. So going forward though, I did have a guaranteed 5-star similarly to Hu Tao, so if I did get a 5-star on Venti's banner, it was definitely going to be him. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough to get Pity. I was really close, but I didn't end up getting lucky, so I had to wait to the next banner, which was Kami Sato Ayaka. I ended up pulling Ayaka guaranteed. Like I said, the only other character that's happened with was Hu Tao, but Hu Tao's experience was a little bit different because I got 2 5-stars on that banner, whereas Ayaka, I only pulled 1 of her, and I had already had the guaranteed from the other banner. But that's how I got Ayaka. She was guaranteed, and I was really happy to get her, but I still wish it would have been Venti just because Ganyu's my main, but that just means I have to use her for a melt team instead. After that, I summoned for my first ever new banner unit since Raiden Shogun in 2.0, and this time I actually got her. Yelan's the only one I've actually gotten on the banner that she was released with, and I was very lucky because I pulled her on the second multi. That's right, Raiden Shogun I got on the first one along with Ganyu, and then I get Yelan on the second multi, and that's not where it ends. But Yelan has definitely been a big help on my team ever since, and I've loved her so much as a character. She's really cool. After that, I was messing around trying to get Kuki Shinobu, and would you know it, on the first multi of that banner I got Arataki Ito. Yes, somehow I was able to do that, so that was insane. He was the last 5-star I got, so I definitely have Pity for whatever's to come with Anniversary. But I did try to summon for Kazuha, and unfortunately my luck did stop with Ito because I didn't have enough to get Pity, and Kazuha did not show for me. Instead, I walked away with 2 Heizo copies, but I can't believe how lucky my 5-star luck has been throughout version 2.0. It's just been crazy. All of version 2, it's just been crazy all the way up leading to this, and I'm really happy with the characters that I've gotten. So let's go ahead and look at the builds of some of my best characters and some of my favorite ones as well. Ganyu by far is my favorite, but I'm gonna save her for last. So let's move on to what I think is my second best character, and that's my Hu Tao. I love Hu Tao a lot. Her and Ganyu I knew were extremely amazing characters, so I tried to focus on them for sure. Now I do have a free-to-play Hu Tao, don't get me wrong, but my substats still aren't that bad. 32,000 max HP is a little short. I wish that was like 35,000 bare minimum, but it is what it is for what I have. She does have little low on attack as well, but 260 elemental mastery is not bad. Most of that is due in part to the fact that I have Dragon's Bane. Now, because I'm a free-to-play player, I don't really summon on weapon banners. I have done that once in the form of Yelan, which I will get to, but I really don't have any 5-star weapons, so I'm stuck with Dragon's Bane, which is really good, and that's why my substats are like that. So my stats overall are 62 crit rate, 173 crit damage, which is not bad for a free-to-play player. That's not bad considering the fact that if I get Staff of Homa, that's gonna be insane. It's gonna be like almost 70 crit rate and like 220 to 230 crit damage. Like, that's really good. So if I ever get Staff of Homa, my Hu Tao is gonna get a big boost, and I really think she's the only character on my account except for maybe Yelan that really needs her weapon to be even better. But looking at my artifacts for her, I'm not gonna touch too much on some of these. Well, maybe a little bit, because I am kind of proud of my Hu Tao. Now, because I don't have Staff of Homa, I have a kind of balanced flower here, which is not the best as far as crit rate goes. But the reason I say that is because if I ever get Staff of Homa, I'm throwing this piece on right here. This piece has 20% HP and it has 11 crit rate. Literally, if I had Staff of Homa, I would put this on and I would have 70 crit rate with an extra 20% HP. That HP deficit that I was talking about would go away instantly. So I really need Staff of Homa when it comes to that. This feather is kind of perfect for her in a way because none of it's wasted. Crit damage, crit rate could be a little tiny bit higher, but that HP is really, really good. It's really good. So an amazing piece for her. And then my best piece I think I have on my account is the sands that I'm about to show you. This is my HP sands for my Hu Tao. 16 crit rate, 12 crit damage, and 200 HP. Now obviously that HP percent could be better. Energy recharge could be elemental mastery, but I honestly think this is my best artifact on my account, because that crit ratio is insane when you think about how much crit rate that's actually offering me. Like, I don't have a crit rate circlet on my Hu Tao, and this is why. This piece alone is why. So I love this piece. I used to have it on my Ganyu before I finally got an attack percent one, but yeah, this is like a perfect piece for my Hu Tao. It sucks that it's not on set, but the only alternative I have is something like this. So yeah, definitely an amazing piece. And then I have a pyro damage goblet, not insanely good. If I ever get another on-set one, because it has to be an on-set one that actually has some decent HP. That's the only reason I use this one, is because of the HP and the little bit of crit damage, because my alternative is either no HP really and a tiny bit more crit damage when I really need HP as it is. So that's why I have this one. And then I use a crit rate circlet with 22 crit damage, a little bit of HP, some attack, and elemental mastery. So overall, not a bad build. It's really not. Once I get Staff of Homa, I really think that's the only improvement that I need to make, unless I just want to try to get a better on-set pyro damage one, because there's no way I'm getting rid of this piece. Like, this is perfect for Hu Tao. The only other character this would be better on would be Yelan, but she already has her troubles with artifacts as well. Hu Tao's also only one of 3 characters on my account that I actually have crowned, and I have her E ability crowned, which is really good. I need to work on the other ones a little bit more, but that is a crowned Hu Tao right there. The next character I want to talk about is Raiden, and she's also not the best, if I have to be honest with you, but the fact that I have her C2 almost is just, it's really good. Like, she's C1, which is not bad, but once I get that C2, she'll get a big boost. And her substats are as follows. She has 60 crit rate, but only 140 crit damage, which is really bad, honestly. But I have pretty bad luck with the crit damage artifacts on her. And the energy recharge is higher than that when I do put the catch on her. But because I usually use the catch on Jianling, I'm actually not doing that right now. But my Raiden isn't the worst thing in the world. I just really need to work on her a little bit more. But obviously it's Raiden Shogun. She's amazing regardless. And once I get C2, she'll hit that threshold that I really want her to. Yelan is one that I'm really proud of. I think she's come a long way since my resin video, if you've seen it, which is one of my most popular videos on Genshin, and her substats have gotten better since then. She has 35,000 HP, and she also has 60 crit rate, 180 crit damage, which is not bad. It's really not bad at all, and that's mostly due in part to the fact that I finally was able to get myself hands on an HP Sans that's on set, and it's got some pretty decent crit rate. But yeah, she's got some good pieces here. I mean, again, if I had that one from my Hu Tao and I was able to put that on here, that would be amazing. But my Yelan's not doing that bad. She's really not. And if I had Aqua Simularca, similar to Staff of Homa, I think she would get a big increase, but because I don't have that, she's still pretty decent, I have to be honest. Next up's probably my favorite 4-star, and that is Heizou as far as how he's built. And I do like him because he's still a new character, so it's kind of refreshing to me, but I also have him built decently well. He hasn't really changed much since my resin video, but I have him at 60 crit rate and 170 crit damage, which is not bad. And he's got quite a bit of attack too. He's got like 1,500, but he's not the worst. He's really not. Most often do. Part of that is because I have him with a crit damage weapon, but he has some pretty good room for effort, like to make right here. Like I could switch out the flower for something with crit rate, or even get a better Anemo damage goblet. But honestly, it's not bad. Like he's built pretty well for what I use him for, and I just got to work on his team a little bit more. But as a 4-star, he's probably my best one, I would say. And last but not least is definitely my favorite character in the game and on my account, Ganyu, the Coco Goat herself. And she's definitely carried me through every content that I can pretty much do now on Genshin, and it's most due for the fact that she's just built really good. She really is. I think she's my best built character and my best character in general. She has 54 crit rate, which could be a little higher, don't get me wrong, but 201 crit damage, which is not bad for a free-to-play build. And the fact that I mostly grind Wanderer's Troop through the strongbox, I don't do the domain, it's not bad. She has 2,100 attack, and she also has 264 elemental mastery, which is just amazing because I use her for a melt comp. So I love my Ganyu, and she uses the R5 Hamayumi, which I finally just recently got because those bow billets, I tell you, took a while to get, but I finally have her R5 Hamayumi, which is really close to an almost bow. So if I ever get almost bow for her, it would just be because I love Ganyu, but I really feel like I don't need it compared to the other 5-star weapons I've mentioned as much. But man, if I ever get that from the normal banner, my Ganyu is gonna be set because she's great with this weapon. It's really good. And just like Raiden and Hu Tao, she's 3 of 3 characters that have been crowned, and I'm really happy that I actually did go ahead and crown her first. She was my first ever character that I crowned. Even though she has no constellations, she's still really good, and I love her so much. Definitely my best character and my most favorite one. I feel like that's what most people are interested in, are the characters you have, the artifacts, things of that nature. But even weapons aren't too shabby on my characters, but I really don't have any 5-star weapons. These two are the only ones I have. As a free-to-play player, I don't summon on the weapon banner except for when Yelan came out, because I really feel like Aqua Simularqua would have helped, and because I pulled her so early on into when she was released, I kind of just wanted to do that. But I only have 2 5-star weapons, and I got these both from the normal banner. So I got Aquila Favonia, that was my first ever 5-star on the normal banner, believe it or not, and I have that on Bennett. And I also have the Skyward Spine, which I do change out from Raiden whenever I use her with the catch, but that's the only other 5-star weapon I have, and it's that one. Not the worst 5 stars you could get, but I definitely wish I did have some of the other ones, you know, like the Mist Split, even the one for Raiden that she uses, or Staff of Homa, Aqua Simularca, Amos Bow, like things like that would be great. But I have some pretty great free-to-play options as well. I mean, I have Hamayumi R5, which is an amazing bow, especially for Ganyu. Aminoma Kageuchi R5 for Ayaka. I have the Catch R5 for Xianling, which I know a lot of people don't like grinding up because fishing can be annoying, but I have that. I have the Fading Twilight from the event. I have the Cinnabar Spindle for Albedo in the future. Things like that. I have some pretty good free-to-play R5 options, so I'm not too disappointed, but I do wish I had some more 5 stars. But as a free-to-play player, what do you expect? Now, when it comes to artifacts, I think that I have quite a bit of good artifacts, but if I'm being honest, this is where my luck is kind of bad. I have really good luck for some reason with pulling the 5 stars, but I have extremely annoying luck when it comes to getting artifacts that are actually pretty decent or really good. I don't even think I have a single crit damage piece that has over 28 crit damage. I really don't. Like, for example, here, I know I don't have a Hydra one on my Yelan right now, but 28 crit damage is probably the highest I've gotten. Something like that is just kind of where it goes to. But I do have some pretty good pieces that are balanced, at least. Like this piece I recently got, which I have on my official right now. This piece was almost perfect, and I put it on Twitter. If you want to check a link in the description, you'll see that I actually got almost a perfect piece. The only stat that was wasted is 1 roll into defense, but 20 crit damage and 10 crit rate. That's not bad. That's really not bad. I think this crit rate value was like 3 or something as well, so that's pretty good. That's a good piece. Some of the pieces, like I showed you, like the ones I have on my Hu Tao, this is an amazing piece, and some of them are just ones that have very great potential, like this one I got the other day, which is an onset Noblesse energy recharge piece, which I could use on Bennett. And look at these substats: crit rate, crit damage, and a tiny bit of elemental mastery. But this is like a perfect energy recharge piece for Bennett. If it has some attack, it would be better, but man, that's gonna hopefully be an amazing onset piece. Just onset pieces like that, they're just really cool. So things like that I have not the great luck with on artifacts, but honestly, as a free-to-play player, that's kind of the only thing that you're really grinding for anyway. So I'm pretty happy with some of the sets I've got, but they could be a lot better as well. The only last thing would really be like achievements. I mean, for achievements, I have some of these filled up, others I really don't have filled up, but I do take my time with it. I mean, I've pretty much grinded the story all the way up until the Archon quests are done. Like, I've finished the story up until this point. I have most of the reputations level 8 for all of them pretty much, Mondstadt, Liyue, and Inazuma, and I just kind of do them at my own pace, but I pretty much focus on a lot of that stuff in my own time, along with the actual quests themselves. Like I said, with quests, I mean, I've pretty much done the full main story, but I do have some story quests that I need to do, like Yelan, for example. I like her so much, I really should sit down and do her quests, so that's something I need to do. Hangout events, I really haven't done too much just because I find them a little tedious, but there's a lot of Primogem rewards in there that I could be getting. As far as Spiral of the Abyss goes, I have beaten Spiral of Abyss all the way through to floor 12, chamber 3, and I have beaten it with 36 stars before, hence the fact that I actually do have the achievement for it, and it wasn't, you know, the hardest thing. I do struggle on some more than others still, just because some of my character teams aren't that great, but for the most part, what I run for my teams are as follows. I have this team, which is like my main one, with the Ganyu, Zhongli, Bennett, and Jianling, which are very crucial for helping my Ganyu. With this team setup, I can pretty much hit 150,000 damage plus with my Ganyu, with Bennett's ult, Jianling's melting, and Zhongli's debuffing plus shield. Yeah, my Ganyu can hit pretty hard, which is really good. Another team which I really use a lot is this one with my Hu Tao, Yelan, Xingqiu, and Zhongli. This is my second Spiral of Abyss team that I use when I'm not using Ganyu, which I use for the other team on the other half of things. And Yelan, Xingqiu definitely boost up my Hu Tao a lot, and Zhongli I kind of interchange, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, he's a good shielder since I don't have C1 Hu Tao, but most of the time when I'm doing Spiral, because I have Zhongli with my Ganyu team, I substitute this out for like Raiden or whatever else. If I had Toma built, he would actually be really crucial for this, but other than that, this is really the only team that I use other than my Ganyu team. So that's gonna wrap it up. That's my 1-year Genshin free-to-play account review. I hope you guys found it interesting, and I am really proud of it, honestly, because I've gotten extremely lucky in some cases, and I've also had fun grinding and just doing everything I can to make my account as good as I can, and it definitely has a lot of ways to go, especially with artifacts. But with version 3.0 about to be here, I'm hoping that it's gonna hopefully get a lot better and be a lot more fun collecting those units as well. But let me know what your accounts are looking like. You know, if some of you guys jumped in before or after me, it's extremely rewarding to reflect on your account and see how far you've come, and I'm excited to see how far I can go as well with it. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.